Hey everybody, it's me, Vyvy, and welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, welcome. I hope you stay along for this ride. There's no ride, but just stay along if you're interested. And if it's not your first time here, thank you for coming back. Thank you for keeping up with this. If you're not subscribed, just subscribe. Let's just go with the flow and subscribe and do whatever, you know? Okay. So, in today's video, I'm going to be talking about something that's very near and dear to my heart. It is the first love of my life. And it was suggested for me to talk about this thing by my friend who's also stuck in Barbados with me. I don't know if she wants me to say her name. She's Randine. Hey Randine! This is a special request and it's something I really like. I love to talk about, but I don't talk about it because I feel like nobody else is really interested in it. But one person asked for it and I'm gonna deliver. Plus, she's the reason I ended up doing what I'm doing right now. She has a large part to play in it, and she commented this comment and I was like, hell yes, I'm gonna talk about this right now. Whew, I'm gonna have to take off my lab coat. This is my actual lab coat. You could tell it's my actual lab coat because it has a bunch of like dingy stains in it. And if you have a lab coat for a bio lab, it's way different than having a lab coat for a chemistry lab. Mostly in my university, chemistry labs don't have AC, so that's one big. You're gonna have to wash your lab coat like 20 times more than you wash it when you're in an AC lab. As you maybe can tell by my lab coat and glasses, which I actually use every day, so I'm not playing into any stereotypes. I'm gonna talk about my major in university and my career goals, all my aspirations, all my dreams, the dead ones too. So what is your major, Vivian? Well, I'm glad you asked, Vivian. My major is chemistry and I am doing my bachelor's right now. I'm about to start my third year in September, and it's always been a dream of mine to do something in science. Was chemistry something I always wanted to do? Well, yeah, no, it wasn't something that I always wanted to do. If I'm being completely honest, I wanted to be a doctor from as soon as I could remember. People asking me what I want. I have pictures of myself in a parade when I was in preschool, and they dressed me up as a nurse because they told me only men could be doctors and women had to be nurses. Very misogynistic idea that they were trying to impose upon me, but I wanted to be a doctor from since that small. So as I got older, my career choices changed. It never strayed away from medicine. I always wanted to be either a pediatrician, a veterinarian, dermatologist was the last thing that I wanted to be with regards to medicine. When you're in high school, I had one teacher who was my chemistry teacher, and he was really inspiring. He was actually a doctor, but he was the first actual chemist I ever met. But when I went to sixth form, I met actual adults who were able to talk to me as an adult, because at this point I was an adult. And this one teacher, she pointed out to me that there's so much more you could do in science than become a doctor. And that really put me back to think, because of course I always knew that, but I never took it to heart that much. And it wasn't until I was taking these courses that were more geared towards a career. So in college I ended up, and by college I mean like when I was 16 to 18, it's sixth form. That would be like a community college in the US, I believe. I was taking classes that if I wanted to be a doctor, this was giving me a good footing in it. So I took anatomy classes, health and disease classes, things like that that would show me what the career would be about. And I didn't do bad in those courses, but I didn't enjoy them as much. I was like, oh, humans, heart, cardiac disease, you know, it's ugh. It's not for me, and it was so dull. And I love dermatology stuff, so at this point I wanted to be a dermatologist. And I love things that have to do with popping pimples or taking out cysts or graphing and stuff like that. And I was just thinking to myself, I want to do that specifically. But then I have to go through all this stuff that seems remedial to me, seems boring, tedious, and it's very necessary to become a doctor. That you do those things, you gotta put in the work. And it just wasn't for me. And that's when I rekindled my love for chemistry, and it stuck with me ever since then. So yeah, it's not what I always wanted to do. It's what I chose to do now as a clear thinking adult with all the information that was given to me. Why did I choose chemistry? Well, when I was in high school, the doctor that was teaching us, that I mentioned before, he really was passionate about chemistry. He would just, his eyes would light up when he would teach us about specific things in chemistry, and I wanted to have that kind of passion for whatever I was to do in my life. So when I noticed, okay, this man is teaching us what was considered at my high school one of the hardest subjects, right? But he made it feel like an enjoyable class, at least in my opinion. That just shows that if you love something, you could make it seem like the best thing in the world. And then when I ended up having to tutor people, I felt that kind of passion just spark in me when I would talk about chemistry. That's why I chose chemistry. It's but then I kind of strayed away from that when I was choosing a university to study in, and I'll just get right into that. So I didn't sign up as a chemistry major when I was applying to university, right? Hey guys, so I forgot to mention a part when I was describing why I chose biochemistry as a major when applying to universities. So the reason I didn't choose chemistry as a major when applying to universities is because the scholarships that I was applying to were from my government and other places as well, and I was taught and conditioned most of my life in high school and college and by people around me that the only valuable careers in science were engineers, architects, and doctors, medicine doctors. I felt like if I had actually pursued my dream of becoming a chemist, I wouldn't be allowed all the scholarships and all the funding and all the support that I would be if I applied for something that had to do with medicine. And the best thing for me at that point was biochemistry. They didn't see the value in it still, but so that's why when I ended up in my situation and I realized I'm in a microbiology program and that's not my passion, I just switched to chemistry. I was like, I'm gonna switch my major to chemistry. I'm gonna blow these people out the water, show them how great I am at chemistry and why they're going to regret not funding me. I don't regret it. I don't regret changing my major because now I'm doing something that I love. I'm doing something that I love well, and that's me. Back into what I was saying before. What had happened was I was applying to schools and I really liked the part of chemistry that still related to biology. So I was thinking of gearing more towards biochemistry, especially because I also did really well in that subject in college. So I applied to all the schools that were my first, second, third, fifth choice, whichever universities I was applying to. I applied. Oh, I'm sweating. Deal with it. I've been advised by my management to sit closer to the camera because it looks better. Anyways, I was applying to all my colleges with other majors. So mostly my first and second choice colleges, universities, I was applying with the intent to become a biochemistry major. And those of you watching that wouldn't know, chemistry and biochemistry are two completely different things. Yes, they borrow from each other. Well, biochemistry borrows from chemistry, but it is not the same thing. You need a whole bunch of other skill sets, and I admire biochemists because they work hard. I applied to my current university with the intent to be a microbiology major because I applied to this college late and I was just thinking, they won't accept me, but if they do, it would be cool, and microbiology sounds cool. I didn't even know what microbiology was, right? I had to look it up after I applied. Anyways, I got back my responses and all three of the universities that were my top three said yes, including this one that I'm going to right now was in my top three. This one was the only one that wasn't biochemistry. And then I got a scholarship application ready for my country, and I applied saying that my first and second choices are biochemistry and microbiology. And they responded, the people giving out the application responded to me that how in my country I am able to get a biology and a chemistry degree without leaving the country, so they would be wasting money on me. Basically, this is the gist of the letter they sent. They would be wasting money on me funding my studies abroad. If I study biochemistry there, like I should have picked something different, basically, not biochemistry, because they have both bio and chemistry in my country. And I I'm sorry if I'm doing this a lot. It's just really hot and I'm getting frustrated just thinking about it. But yeah, and I had to reply and say thank you for giving me this opportunity, blah, blah, blah. But they obviously just didn't value the sciences, because even the chemistry course, the chemistry program that they offer in my country was newly made like that summer that I was applying. So I ended up coming to here in Barbados, where I currently study, and I entered as a microbiology major. Lucky for me though, the first year of microbiology is similar, if not exactly the same, to the first year of a chemistry major. So I took all my entrance courses, all the courses I need for my foundation. One of my teachers was telling me that how microbiology, there's a lot of money there, they need microbiologists in the world. But if I was doing something for the money, I would become an engineer, become an architect, I'd become literally anything else. I'd become a politician. But I wasn't doing it. I'm not doing it for the money, so I might as well do it for the love, you know? And when I came to Cave Hill, I met amazing chemists in the chemistry department, and they were so passionate about what they were talking about. They were intelligent, they were funny, they were just bouncing off the walls when they talk about what they love, right? The things that they teach, that's not just their career, that's their profession, that's their vocation, that's their everything. I want that in my life. I felt like that spark that I felt in high school, I felt it again, and I just had to switch my major. So I switched my major to chemistry, and that's where I am now, and I am beyond elated. I feel like if I had continued with biochemistry or microbiology, I wouldn't be as happy. I wouldn't be as excited about life and about everything, about my future and my career. I wouldn't be myself. And I'm not saying that to trash on any other majors. I'm saying this to say that if you love something, don't settle and do something completely different. Because what's the point in you changing to a major that you won't enjoy? If you don't enjoy it, you'll probably hate yourself or wonder what could have been in their future, and you don't want that, you know? So I think I might have to actually cut this into 2 videos, because I am just rattling off. It's not even like I'm not saying things that I don't find important, but the thing is, I'm saying things that I feel should go out there. It should be put into the world, at least for a few people to hear, if you're having troubles deciding if you want to continue a career in chemistry. So I'll pause here and I will continue in a second video that I might upload, I think tomorrow, the day after this video comes out. Oh, before I go, the good thing about science is that it's all a borrowing, lending situation, right? We borrow from other fields of science to make up one field of science. So if you feel like you just finish your bachelor's in one area of science and you think you should have gone into something else, it's not too late. Once you could prove that you could make it in that other field that you feel like you missed out on, you're fine. You'll be fine. This is my experience so far, and I will continue in part 2, where I will talk about my aspirations and my future goals in chemistry. So subscribe, like and comment. Let me know what you think. What are you studying? What have you studied? Are you planning to study in the future? And subscribe for more. That's all I could say. I hope you like this video. Stay tuned. Bye.